What does this video that somehow makes Honda Civics look good, and this video of a Coca-Cola bottle jumping off a metaphorical rooftop have in common with the new masterpiece on Netflix, Arcane? This is the story of the French animation studio Fortiche, one of the best animation studios that you've never heard of. Fortiche was collectively started by Jérôme Combe, Pascal Charroux, and Arnaud Delorde, sorry if I got any of those names wrong, in Paris in 2009, with the name Fortiche apparently standing for ace, but online dictionaries say that I mean smart or brainy. I don't know, I failed French in school, there's no way I'd know their slang. Honestly though, unfortunately there's not a lot to find about these people before the company's start. There's nothing really about Pascal Charroux and Arnaud Delorde. For Jérôme Combe though, he did a bit of animation work for this random film called... The Best Day of My Life, about a badly organised wedding leading to their demise or something, which, yes, bad organisation stresses me out too. I can totally relate to that. That happened in 2005. In 2008, he made a showreel on a random channel with like 5 subscribers, and only that video is left on it. Oh, and hey, somebody else discovered the channel too after Arcane. Hello, Tea House Reloaded. And that's all the background to the Fortiche founders. I was really pulling my hair out while researching this video. The full video from the showreels by Jérôme Combe are available on the Fortiche Vimeo page, which in fact is packed with some really great, random, in a good way, stuff. But yeah, it seems like Jérôme was doing pretty well. He did a bunch of ads for Marie, which do un naturel la puff pastry, and other food stuff. He also did a Ubisoft ad and an Ask Jeeves ad. You know, the search engine before Google came along and basically monopolized the search engine industry. Yep, the Ask Jeeves. Oh, and by the way, the animation, that is what I should actually be talking about in this video. Yes, it's very impressive. They actually look really great. I love how bouncy the hair is, and the animation is so smooth, even for some of the first public stuff he had out. And it works extremely well with the live action around it. He most definitely would have trained for many years before this with stuff that just isn't public, but Jérôme sure knew what he was doing in terms of animation at this early stage. The switch from Alexandra Lebrun, I'm not even gonna bother trying to, last name, which is a person that I don't know about. I tried to search up about him but I couldn't find anything. The switch from her name to Fortiche Productions happened during a series of short films for Sprite, the drink company. And this happened actually midway through a series of videos that they were doing for them. And wow, at this point did they already have their 2D mixed with 3D style down. With Spider-Verse and Mitchell's vs. the Machines and films like that being a thing, you can be forgiven for thinking that Arcane got inspiration for its style from them, but it very well might have been the other way around. Even though these guys were still working out of their living room at this point, their stuff was very close to the standards of those films, pretty much already, at least in terms of visuals. And on top of that, they'd already gotten really good with their virtual camera work. They didn't just stick with that style from the start though. They did some 3D work with a more regular looking 3D character in it. And they also did these really weird random test videos, which is where the Coca-Cola bottle jumping off the roof was from, and various other tests too. Later they did this very nice black and white cel shaded ad for Hutchinson too. And yeah, there's that video I mentioned before about the Honda Civics that actually looked good. Really solid stuff. That's for the video, by the way, not for the car itself. Also, there's La Papa Penguin, which I looked into way too much for some reason. So no, this isn't Pingu or Happy Feet or those Madagascar spy guys. This is Pigloo, a French kid show singing some 1979 song from the duo Ralph Siegel and...
Berne Ménager.
About a bored penguin that wants to visit places apparently. But yeah, anyway, for that thing, Fortiche did the video for that too. They then did this thing of drawing faces on bags and walking around with bags on their faces. They then did more ads and they did something for their furry fans too. Then they went on to do music and something to do with blockbuster movie, oh my god. Okay, back to the music. Gorillaz. You know that weird Gorillaz video with Converse? With that catchy song and the way too detailed bouncy animation? That was them. As was this pretty great MTV intro clip, I don't know, whatever you call this sort of thing. And the Coldplay Hurts Like Heaven video, which, yeah, is literally a moving comic book. 9 years ago, by the way. 9 years ago. After that, they did music videos for Free Kitchen and 100 Waters, both of which are very good. For the Free Kitchen one, comic book artist and former Disney animator for films such as Hercules, Hunchback, Atlantis and Tarzan, Juanjo Guarnido did a successful Kickstarter and brought Fortiche in to animate the video, which turned out to be very impressive, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the song. The turning point for me though with Fortiche was a short called Agents of Mayhem around 5 years ago, which is where the Arcane look really started to come out. Which makes sense because Arcane started production around 6 years ago when Riot Games, the makers of League of Legends, got in touch with them. Christian Link is a creative director and Alex Yee a creative designer at Riot Games, and were part of the team that came up with Jinx and Vi's characters for League of Legends. So they made these characters, which is great and all, but at the time they had a dilemma. They were all these characters from League of Legends and they had done a few cinematic videos here and there about some of them, but none specifically tied to a character and their personality in terms of the music relating to them, and well, showing what sort of stuff they get up to. So Riot Games discovered the promising little animation studio Fortiche and hired them to create an animation for their song Get Jinxed. And so began the many music videos Fortiche, as well as other animation studios, would go on to do with Riot. But while these videos were being made, another deal was also being struck between Netflix and Riot. Fortiche would make a Netflix series based on the League of Legends worlds, and would have that series be focused around Jinx and Vi and some other characters, and Christian and Alex would be showrunners. As Arcane was ongoing in development, Fortiche went on to make what would become the 3 most popular videos for the League of Legends channel, amassing over 1.1 billion views between them. I personally remember discovering Warriors, one of the videos that they did, many years ago, and being blown away by the look of it. I most definitely watched it way too many times. And I mean, I probably didn't even know what the Worlds event was at the time. But that video though, man, it was good. One of these videos does have a bit of behind the scenes for it, which was K/DA. But again, there's not much for the other ones. For this video at least though, it turns out they didn't use any mocap when they animated it. They did it all by hand, while referencing a lot of rap music videos. But even with all of the time that they would have spent doing that, they were efficient about it, and they did copy over some animation between characters when they could. And then of course they altered it a bit to make the characters look a bit different from one another. But yeah, the video still does look like it was a very tough time to make it. In amongst making the music videos and making Arcane, they did somehow also manage to fit in a short series for Disney. And by short, I do mean very short. The full thing is probably around half an hour or so. It was a cute little series about Rocket and Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy doing some stuff in space. The whole thing is like half an hour or so. I recommend it, it's a fun watch. But yeah, Arcane. It was written by Riot's Law team, and Riot also did the music video for it too, and brought in some great artists to sing on the tracks. In terms of the visuals, Fortiche brought their signature style to it, with annoyingly very little in terms of behind the scenes about it. But well, they definitely did do something right, because the look and the animation of the show is top tier. They even did a whole separate music video for the song Enemy, where they created animated versions of Imagine Dragons and JID, and whole new scenes for it too. And this is great and all, but what absolutely overwhelmed me is everything about the JID section. It's just so good, just watch the video for yourself. And yeah, I do want to make a separate video about Arcane, which is why I'm not really saying much about the show here. But yeah, if you haven't watched it already, absolutely do so. I can't emphasize enough how incredible the show is. But yeah, that's Fortiche, the best animation studio that you've never heard of. Until now at least. Like and comment and stuff if you want. Stay safe out there, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.